Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Temperance Tarot. I am so excited to bring this reading to you today, Virgo. All right, Virgo, what's going on? What is happening? This full moon, if you're watching this, it is September 8th today. We just went through a full moon yesterday. And let me tell you, I know that it has been one of the most intense full moons that I've experienced in a very, very long time. And Virgo, I feel like you're someone that is um, very in tune with what is going on around you. Like your energy, like is so hyper alert right now. Like you can see something before it comes. Okay, I think of like the Matrix. Like when he's dodging those bullets, like you like that's kind of what you've been going through. Like you've seen it coming. You've seen it before anyone else has seen it. And I feel like this full moon, you kind of went through that energy, but there's some things you weren't expecting. And you kind of let me rephrase that. It's not that you weren't expecting it, it's that you were almost kind of hoping it didn't happen. So you just pretended like it wasn't going to happen. So, in a way, you were expecting it, but you kind of were hoping it didn't. So, Spirit, what do you have to say to Virgo about this full moon and what it's done and what's coming next? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right. Spirit, can I get two more cards for Virgo? Okay, let's get the bottom of the deck because I'm kind of feeling like this is where we need to go with it. Okay. One more. Bottom of the deck. Yes. Okay. All right. We got some light here because we need it. All right. We have the Hangman. We have the Death card. And we have the Nine of Swords. All right. And for our confirmation, we have the Sun. All right. So here's what I see right off the bat. You're starting to see things in a completely different way. Okay. There's a certain way that you've lived your life, that you've seen things and you thought like it was like set in stone. This is how it is. This is how it's always going to be. And life has kind of showed you that that's not how it is and that's not how it's going to be. But I feel like with the Hangman, you're being asked to put yourself on the other side of things. Okay. Um, and what do I mean by that? So you might have had some misunderstandings. You might have had like some disagreements with some people that are very close to you, and you've had to like put yourself in their shoes for a quick minute, and that has really opened your eyes to possibly seeing things through their eyes, but also like understanding that our experience isn't necessarily everybody else's experience. Okay. So I feel like in a way you've needed to face your ego. And here's the thing, I want to say this, like, I don't think our ego is bad. I think that a lot of us are just ego led, meaning like the ego is the one who's running the show. And that can be a little dangerous because people that are ego led tend to be very defensive and tend to be very guarded. So I feel like you've come to like a point in your life where you've had to like put your ego down and just say, hey, wait a minute, okay, I can't live my life like this. Like I can't live my life thinking that I'm always the victim. All right. And here's the thing, like with the death card, this actually feels like it's like a death, but a rebirth at the same time. Like you are going through this like breakthrough that you weren't expecting to go through. And I think this is where that whole like you're hoping it didn't happen, but then it did. And the reason why you were hoping it didn't happen was because you thought it was going to be something bad, but it actually ended up being something really, really good in your life. Like it ended up being something really beautiful that you were just like, oh my gosh, why did I not want this to happen? Like this actually ended up being something really, really good. And I feel like that's what the sun is here to tell us. Like the sun is here to remind you that all endings lead to new beginnings. Okay. And the ending of what you felt kept you safe is really like the sun is here to show you that actually that was a prison. Like that mentality that you had, that way of like seeing life actually kept you prisoner. And the sun is here to tell you like there's always two sides to the story. Be open to hearing the other side. Be open to seeing other people's perspective. Be open to hearing, like other people's views because you might actually like learn from some of that. Like you might actually learn from it and you might be open to bringing some of those new ways or like bringing some of what somebody else has to say, bringing that into your life and making it like a new reality in your own life. And with the 9 of Swords, all right, I feel that you've gone through a lot and you've overcome so much. And a lot of the time, I feel like we can look at the past and look at our experiences and look back more in regret than actually like looking at it as a victory. And I feel like this is part of like why the hangman is also here because it's time to stop looking at all of these past experiences in regret, but more of like encouragement to do better, encouraging you to like to next time try something new. um, because these are victories. Like this 9 of Swords to me is showing like victory, like things that you've overcome, challenges that you've overcame, and that you've actually like learned from them and grown from them. And just depending like how you look at this card, it can either look like something really positive or really negative. And I feel like for you, you're being asked to change the way that you see things and just be open to the possibilities of what maybe this like shadow side is trying to like show you. Okay, because I just said in this last reading that we're both light and shadow. And I think a lot of the times we want to just look at the shadow. And in your case, I feel like it's like the ego. You want to look at it and you're just like, I want to, because there's so much about like ego death. And I get it. Like, I get why people want to, end that part of you. But the truth of the matter is that we need both. We need both light and shadow because we are both. We carry both energies within us, and it's not a bad thing. We just need to make sure that we're not being ego led. And that's where the problem truly lies. So for I decided to pull another card for clarity, and I have the 7 of Swords. I'm looking at this card and I feel like there's some truths that are coming forward and you're being asked to be very vocal about it, um, because there's a lot of things that you've held back that you feel like you didn't not necessarily like have the courage to say, but you didn't have like the language for it. And I feel like Spirit's been kind of dropping some like hints and dropping maybe even some like words that you didn't even know like that you knew or you didn't know that you needed to express. And I feel like Spirit is like starting to show you like, hey, you got to talk about this, you got to speak up about this, because it, the Hangman is here to like, yes, let's see the other person's like view, but also it doesn't mean that your view or what you need to say isn't important. Okay, so I want to clarify that. Like, hearing both sides of the story doesn't mean that your side is any less important. Okay, both will complete the puzzle. Okay, so Spirit, oh, he Spirit gave us two cards. All right, so we have confusion and boundaries. All right, Virgo, here we go. I feel like, again, the hangman is here to give you a new perspective into this confusion that you might be feeling. So there's parts of the story that you didn't know, and you are finding them out now. So you're going to be able to make a decision. I feel like you're kind of like at a fork in the road, and you're going to be able to make um, a decision based on like all of the information, not just on what you know. Okay, so that confusion, like, it's becoming clear now. Like, there's a lot of clarity coming through, and I feel like the sun is shining that light on the confusion. And then for boundaries, yes, that's all I need to say. Yes, you need to set them. You need to, again, be open to hearing all sides of the story, but also set some boundaries. Because there is sometimes when we're open to hearing people out, they think they can just like word vomit on us. Okay. Or they can just like constantly be pushing their side on us. That's not what communication is about. Communication is about being open to both sides and coming to a conclusion or agreeing to disagree. That is also okay. But I feel like boundaries are going to be so important for you to not internalize what people are saying to you. Okay. So we can hear the other side of the story, but it doesn't mean that it's our job to fix any of it. Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I'll see you guys next time.